Hey favored ones, welcome back to my channel. Today's reading will be for in the energy of the full moon in Leo. Now in February, the full moon is called the snow moon. And in honor of both the snow and the sun sign from Leo, I wanted to do a question today that would tie them all together. Today's subject for our pick a card reading will be I came, I thaw, I conquered. What obstacles are melting away for you all? Today we will be doing tarot card divination. The deck I'm using is the Tarot of Transformation, and it's by Willow, Arlenea, and Jasmin Cori. I will be posting that below in the description, as well as the timestamps. Remember that these are general readings. Not everything will resonate, and that's perfectly fine. You have free will. Use discernment and guide yourself through your own story. Today we will be starting with pile number 1 is going to be Citrine, and the second one will be Carnelian, and third we have the Sunstone, and last but certainly not least we have a Red's Tiger Eye. So yeah, they're all Leo themed, so if you feel like pausing for a moment and getting grounded within yourself and think and decide on which one you want to pick, or you can pick all of them. It's really up to you. Yeah, so I'll see you all in your pile, right? Bye. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose Citrine, then this pile is for you. Now, Citrine symbolizes pure sunshine, connects with the Leo energy, and is the stone of abundance. So what I feel like there could have been lack of mindset for our pile number 1s that could have been in feeling like an obstacle towards your goals. And I feel like that's melting away for you, either due to financial windfall, or it could just be the perception of how you are looking at abundance within your life, and adding a little bit of, you know, some grateful attitude onto it. All right, so that's what I have here for a feeling from it. Yeah, you're letting your pure sunshine come out. So you're like really noticing that you're the star of your own show, and you're really just letting that feeling of not belonging really just melt away and finding your confidence. Let's just pull a couple of cards here. Guides, Spirit Guardians, if I can get some cards. I'm going to take them. So I feel like there had been stagnation, and everything's just going to start falling into place like the cards did. They really just fell out into place after shuffling. And I feel like it says here, even the Hangman. So yeah, no, not feeling like you need to control everything. Really letting go of that trauma response of needing to be hyper vigilant and independent. It can be a really unraveling type of thing, you know, when you like the yarn's all bunched up and you gotta untangle it and then it's not weaving, yarn it into a ball. You gotta put it into a ball. You gotta get the ball rolling. I feel like what's really happening for you right now is that you're getting the ball rolling. You could be starting a new business. You could be thinking about expanding that business, or even getting your own area, like a studio set up. So you could be in the works of working towards your own studio, because I feel like this kind of looked like a snail with like how they shed as it's like phasing away. You're like grown out of that old shell and you're like moving on to a new one, like a hermit crab. Like you were in hermit mode and now you're becoming that social butterfly you may have always been, but held yourself back maybe due to child wounds, like childhood wounds. You could have been not taken care of as much with the emotionally unavailable adults within your life, or and role models, or if you did have good role models that I'm feeling for the other half of you there, it was that you were bullied at school, or had a learning curve that kind of made you feel like you didn't belong, and you're nurturing that inner child and your higher self, and you are working together to heal that inner child. And I feel like the source is rewarding you for all that hard work of peeling back layers of generational cycles that you're no longer carrying, and letting the wings of your ancestors turn over a new leaf for you. As you can see here, you're finally taking off your mask and showing people how smart you are, because I feel like I get ancient wisdom with this card, as well as the Hangman, is that you may have not seen yourself as a wise person, but you're removing that cycles of being told through the generations that they're not good enough and that they need to be the loudest or the center of attention all the time to make a difference. But you're learning that sometimes when you step back, people start to notice, because they're like, hey, that person's being quiet and I wonder what they got to say. And you wouldn't think that's the case, but sometimes even if you try to hide at the back of the room, you still get noticed. Like this leopard here. It wants to say that you used to go fast, and what you're doing is you're taking your time and slowly going into the wells of abundance. You realize that sometimes it takes time for the wells of abundance, and sometimes if you want to make your claim or your mark, you got to come out of the long grass and pounce on your dreams. So yeah, as some of you may be a part of the LGBTQIA plus community as well. With the snail, it looks like a change, like changing over time, and learning what color flag like matches for you. I also see that it's spiraling into a snake. Some of you could have indigenous background with the snake serpent god creator. That could resonate for some of you there. Let's see if I miss. So you may be performers. Some of you may perform using your some of you perform to work through your childhood trauma, as well as help hiring the vibrational level for others. You could be, with the master, I definitely feel like performer of any source. You could be a painter, fashion, writer, DJ, a lyricist, poet, anything that gets your creative juices going. Yeah, I was definitely here with this. You are definitely going to be birthing a new stage of your life for sure, in regards to living your path and your dream. It may not have been something that was condoned. I don't want to say condoned. it may have not been encouraged, your passions for this when you were younger, and that could be one of the wounds. I know from personal experience that I'm still working through myself is trying to get into public speaking and get up and performing like I used to when I was younger in choir and stuff. And I really wanted to learn how to play the piano, and my parents told me that my hands were too small and I would never learn how because I had problems with reading music. And to this day, I had kept that voice in the back of my head that they were right. And then I had to come through with my higher self and logic and be like, well, first of all, most famous pianists started learning at the age of 5. Their hands cannot be smaller than yours. So that's one, not true. Second, there's a lot of them who learn, musicians have learned to play by ear, and it's never too late to learn anything. So that's one of the things. 1111, make a wish. Some of you may be seeing 11 a lot, or 22. That will definitely be an indication that your guides are leading you in the right direction. You're on the right path. But yeah, it's never too late to learn something new, and it's never too late to tell the bullies that you carried along inside of your head that they're no longer needed. And I feel like that's the obstacle that's being removed is your mental detouring, that you so that you can indulge in your passions. So you're doing a mental detouring of the wounded inner child that doesn't feel good enough. And that wasn't in your control, you know, it wasn't your responsibility for others' response and actions towards you, but it is your responsibility to try and undo the mess that was left behind. And sometimes it's not fair, and you have to clean up someone else's mess and put the pieces back together. And inside some cultures, I think it's called kintsugi. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's little gold bowls that are, well, ceramics, all ceramics and potteries that are put back together with gold to represents the fact that when you put yourself back together, you're more fortified and you're more beautiful than you were before because you didn't give up. And you didn't let you didn't, out of everyone, you didn't let yourself down. You didn't give up on you. And that takes a lot of courage and a lot of creativity. It's creative to survive. Some people don't give credit for that, but you gotta be pretty innovative and creative to survive in a non-safe environment where you're not able to thrive as much. To get to that point is heroic. So I may have said that in another reading because that just reminded me of it. But yeah, this is, so what's melting away for you is the cold crust around your heart that has been put there either by bullying from your family or in school or maybe a work environment. But I feel like you're starting to let all of the words that your bullies had said to you melt away, and your lack of abundance is going away. Maybe someone has been bullying you, saying that you're never going to make it or amount to anything or ever be rich, but they don't know your plan and they don't wake up and put in the work that you do every single day. So let them talk, because they're just wasting their breath instead of doing something that would be beneficial to their own story. So I'm gonna pull one of these. Try and be quiet about it though. Ha ha. expect a nice meal in the near future. So yeah, maybe some of you were told that you would never learn how to cook, or maybe that you'll never be, able to open your own cafe. Whether that was told to you by someone else, or even your own fears of success or failure, because sometimes you're your own bully. One of the things that your childhood dreams that you're like trying to pounce on here and develop with starting your own passion is a restaurant. Some of you could be working towards opening up your own spiritual shop as well, I'm feeling. Or some of you are just worried about lack of abundance and whether or not you're going to be able to make ends meet this month. And I sure as the sun in the sky know how hard that is. So if you are worried about the next meal that is going to be warm on your plate, I have hope, and I have faith that it'll happen for you. So I believe in you, and I believe in your dream. So don't let anyone take that away from you, and keep singing into that wishing well. All right. So yeah, I appreciate you coming by. Thank you for joining me for a reading and letting me, connect with your energies. I will be looking forward to reading for you in the future. And remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're feeling for it. And I will see you next reading. Remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye! Alright, let's see here. Pile number 2. If you chose Carnelian, then this pile is for you. It is connected with Archangel Michael as protection, so some of you may feel like you need a little bit more protection or reassurance recently, and I feel like that's melting away. Like you're going to be starting to feel more safe and grounded within yourself. Yeah, especially since Carnelian is the stone of passion and physical grounding energy. So I feel like some of you may be, the obstacle may be moving out of its way so that you can find your passion. It could be passion for life, passion for art that you had put down for a while, maybe a creative block. And I feel like your creative blocks being removed at this time is just melting away. So, can we get for pile number 2, please? Spirit guides, guardian, and ancestors. I feel like a lot of answers are going to come for you in the next near future. There could have been some mental non-clarity that has been weighing on you for a while. And yeah, your answers that you've been seeking are coming in the near future. I feel as you ground yourself, it could be through meditation that you find this, or it could be through taking a pause from social media and whatnot to get yourself grounded and centered. So yeah, I feel like a lot of answers coming in for you right now. Oh. Hold on. I give it one more shuffle. Pile number 2, energy, please. Take that one because it keeps falling out. Definitely some steam coming through. You could be feeling yourself a lot. I feel like you might be getting your sexy back. Definitely the vibe coming through here. You're finding home within your own body. I feel like before you could have been feeling a little at war or a little at odds with your body, whether it was due to a medical condition or just, you know, there could have been the pandemic way. There could have been any reason why you could just not feeling yourself for a while, and that's perfectly normal human response. Every now and then we just get into a rut and we just don't feel the best. You know, could be a gassy day, you could have been having tummy issues or whatever, have not and whatnot. But yeah, I do feel like you're getting a lot of your sexy back. You could have been moved into a new home. I could have thrown you off your groove a little. It's a Two of Cups. Definitely meeting someone that you connect with, and definitely I see some steamy stuff here. You know, cooking up something in the bedroom together. Of course, this doesn't, if you're asexual, it doesn't have to indicate that you are being intimate. It could be that you are becoming, like I said, more comfortable within your body, just accepting your sexuality. It could also as well be that you're working on your divine feminine parts, where you're into receiving and working on your creativity. Remember, everyone has divine masculine and divine feminine part of their self. It's just give and take. You know, well, take, give. Left symbolizing receiving, and right is giving. We have, yeah, I keep taking off my right ring, so I feel like you're really, really trying to, you've already mastered your masculine side, so you're really trying to just finish and bring in that home run where you're bringing your divine feminine part into balance so that you can be a centered and aligned being. You could be a chemist or like sciences a lot, like that, or you could be an alchemist is what I'm getting as well. Yeah, I'm definitely getting alchemist feelings. I feel like pile number 2, you're really into the occult, manifestation. You could be working towards affirmations for your chakras or divine feminine, working on your seduction and tantra sexuality, and or yoga, mantras for alignment. Opening to angels. Yeah, I just really feel like the floodgates are opening to you. So it could have been a dry spell for some of you for a while. You haven't had a partner in a bit, or you're just feeling yourself. I know some asexuals are sex positive. If you are not, then this is definitely indicating that your mental block from creativity is definitely unfolding naturally. Now, for those who are into the steamy, intimate stuff, then I definitely feel like it's unfolding for you in a deep, deep way. You know, the person that you're manifesting right now, or have already, if you have a partner, and it's just becoming more in depth. You're finding more trust within each other. You're finding home within each other. An authentic connection, especially with the Two of Cups. Dolphins could definitely be important to you. The dream realm as well. You could have dreamed this person before you met him or her, and you definitely could have, and if you have already met them, you would know that you had already had dreams. But I also see here that you could be working with the fairies as well. As with the springtime coming up, you could see a lot of them going on, especially with, you can see little fae dancing around everywhere. So I feel like you could work very, especially with the inquiring minds and the dolphin symbolizing the dream realm. I feel like you have also been getting a lot more dreams to clear out your blockages and allow this divine feminine energy and spiritual energy come through. Light language, some of you may work with that, as well as you could be manifesting a forever partner, with how turtles will usually take one mate for life. If you are in a open relationship or polyamory, this is including that you will be connecting and having a long love and connection and alignment with all your multiple partners here, just to, you know, make sure that you're that could be the next part that you're opening up with. You could be starting a open relationship, I feel here, and that's just learning how to branch out as well. I see a lot of mandalas or stained glass. You're moving your home. You might enjoy hanging up different decorations. So that could be that's one of the other things I see as well. Some of you might doubt yourselves, and that's why I get a lot with the like, I think and and a lot during this reading. I do it. But I feel it's the energy coming through for you this time. Some of you might doubt that you are able to manage this new project or being open and vulnerable. Some of you may not find it some of you may really not like being vulnerable and opening yourself up that way, and you're learning, and that's what's melting away from you, is you shying away from being vulnerable. And you're realizing that when you're not vulnerable and open to your partner, you're not just blocking them out, you're blocking yourself out too, and you're rejecting like your own creativity, because sexual and sensual energy is creative. It is creative, and it's very deep and passionate if you do it the right way, which is, you know, doing it for with someone who you feel comfortable with. That's the best time to do it, is when you do it with someone you're comfortable with and with consent. So yeah, definitely a lot of mirroring, like there's the earth and the water, the fire, and some of you may like the mandalas. Yeah, definitely art coming through. Some of you may write steamy stories. Yeah, some of you might I feel like some of you are artists, like writers, and you write smut books is what they were called at some point. Either way, I don't want to offend you, or I love those kind of books too. Steamy stuff written down, excellent. So if you're holding back, people in the world would love to hear more steamy stories. Trust me, there is a market for it, or else there wouldn't be Harlequin books and all those other steamy novels, like Anne Rice. But those are more mystery, steamy novels than not. Hey, you could be a mystery and dark fantasy type. Don't let anyone define what sexy is for you. I feel like some of you are feeling like sexy is a certain thing. You don't have to wear makeup or wear high heels or anything else like that to be a divine feminine energy, to make your sexy come back. It could be that you gave yourself 5 extra minutes to sit down because, you know, being stressed out isn't sexy, like, you know, like Lizzo says. And yeah, I feel like some of you may be doing aromatherapy, like bubble baths, putting some candles on. Some of you may be making candles, some of you might be candle makers, or I'm also seeing here like that you're gardeners. It could be that you're starting gardening as well. That could be the creative endeavor, and it definitely will embrace your divine feminine when you're you know, you are giving, but you're also in the art of the energy of creation and caring. Working with water or fire, like I said, because there's a lot of water and fire here. Could be water or fire energies, especially with the dolphins a lot. But the earth, especially with it being super tall there, I feel like there's earth signs as well. You could be, I feel like Aries, Taurus, Cancer. Just because of the nurturing energy, and but yeah, definitely a lot of mythical creatures you could work with, whether they're fae, elf. You could work with animals, with the dolphins being there. That's how you could be in your divine feminine. No, is how, not could, is. So if you feel like you could make it, or I could do that, it's like you can't. You can't. Affirm it. Say, I can do it. Because you can. You pile number 2s can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Whether it's bringing your sexy back, you can do it. Starting a new opportunity that you never thought you would ever see the light of day of, you can do it. Aligning yourself with a partner who loves you for who you are, and have partners who love you for who you are, and you love them for who they are. Yeah, you can. So don't let anyone else define who you are. And I feel like that's what's really melting away, is feeling like being sexy looks a certain way. You're letting the obstacle of society standards melt away. So the obstacle of delving into your dreams and finding your sexy or creative energy, yeah, you're definitely finding your creative energy. You're removing that mental and creative block. That's something that's melting away for you, pile number 2. So let's try to get this. That'll make too much. Smooth seas never make experienced sailors. So yeah, I feel like you had a lot of thrashing and large storms thrown your way, and that could have been what threw you off for a little bit there, got you in a rut, not feeling as, you know, sometimes it's hard to motivate yourself to be in a creative mood when the storms are brewing and throwing you across the room on your swivel deck. And yeah, sometimes you get to the other side and your ship does come in, and I feel like your ship is coming in for you, pile number 2. So yeah, thank you for coming by, and I hope you enjoyed your reading. Remember to leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. I'll see you all in your next reading. All right, bye. pile number 3. If you chose the Sunstone, then this pile is for you. Sunstone symbolizes empowerment, fearlessness, dependability, and luck. So I feel like what's melting away for you is you finally know where to invest your energy in. You could have invested in people who weren't dependable in the past, and you're learning how to set up boundaries and not allowing people to push you around anymore. I feel like you're got that fearlessness of where you want to be in your life, and Lady Luck is on your side and bringing you empowerment. So, let's see what else. What else is melting away for our piles number 3? Pile number 3. These guides, guardians, and ancestors. Sexual healing, sexual healing, sexual healing. Yep. It's coming through really loud and clear. It seems like you're really being fearless. When it's your I feel like in the past you may have told yourself some lies in regards to whether or not, you're attractive. Pile number 3s. I feel like you've always been there for others. Okay, trigger warning, trigger warning. I feel like pile number 3 that you may have used sex in the past as a form of self-harm, as a way to boost your own ego, and it didn't always make you feel good after, and that's what I mean by how it was used as a form of self-harm, is when you do it because it's not what you want to do, but it's for the dopamine high. Like, for a moment it will make you feel good, but it only left you feeling more empty. Much like when you go and drink and it's as a form of self-harm, and the next day you feel empty and it didn't really do much. That's what I mean by it. But like, I feel like pile number 3, you may have done it at a certain point in your life. I don't feel like you're there anymore, but the wound might be a little bit, and it may it may have caused a wound where you're afraid to open up to that kind of flow, and it may not come natural to you either, which is fine. Not everyone's natural at everything, and when you're with a certain partner, they should be willing to want to learn what you enjoy and have them, you learn what they enjoy, and really just learn it together. And if they don't make you feel comfortable, then that's time to reapproach your boundaries and safety within the bedroom. Now that I got that out of the way, what I feel like is melting out of your obstacles out of the way is your fear of rejection. I feel in the past you felt like you weren't a part of this world, and you could be a starseed and not be a part of this world and come here to heal the planet, and that could be why you felt a little different and off from each other, like interconnectedness. mental clarity with the Eight of Swords. You may have felt like you were imprisoned within your own, a castle of your own making. Like you may have built up this huge fortress around yourself, and then you realized once you had built that fortress around yourself, it was lonely and you didn't have anyone to share this fortress with, and the light wasn't able to get to you. So even though you were super bright, but this was your light, and it's too big. It's too big for that fortress. Your inner light is way, way too big for that small fortress. Even though that fortress is a palace. You know, it's a whole palace. But your light is way too bright to be hidden away. And I feel like you had shied away from human affection, in the words of Soundgarden. Some of you may be working with sound a lot, singing more. You could have lost that spark to want to just sing and be silly when you're home alone, or gardening. But yeah, you're definitely, it definitely could have been due to it could have been due to SA that happened when you were younger, and you held on to that memory and thought it was your fault. And I feel like pile number 3, that you're really learning that your trigger warning, sexual assault was not your fault, and you acted out as you got older, and in a way that you felt was like you were supposed to. You know, being groomed and whatnot is not always easy to forgive yourself. Yet I feel like you've gone through the therapy and delved deep into yourself, or at least if not therapy, then you've done the inner shadow work and curbing the inner child wounds through your own experiences and your own healing, like healing your own little world, right? And I feel like your ancestors are watching you heal your own little world, because you're in charge of yourself, right? So I feel like they're proud, and they're dancing around and they're melting away any other obstacles, and they're bringing forth the support and love for you, and letting you know it wasn't your fault. And sometimes the cycles just go that way, but you're not carrying that. See, through the wind, the land, the rain, and the sun, in space and on Earth, you've cleared it out. So I know I went into what your past was, but I just wanted to bring it up because some of you will know that this is your reading, and I feel like it needed to be said because I definitely resonate with it too. And you're not allowing your perpetrators from when you were younger and the actions you took because you thought it would help give you a sense of control over the things that happened to you when you were younger. You need to forgive yourself for that, because it really, you know, even though you made those choices, no, it wasn't your fault. That you were just trying to do your best to find love in the places you thought is where you're supposed to look. And sometimes we're pointed in the wrong direction and get turned around by our own family when we're growing up. And you know, you really figured it out. You were like, hey, this is the wrong path. I'm lost here. And instead of just being lost, and instead of just trudging on the path that someone else left for you, you're like, forget that. Forget the path that my ancestors left for me. I'm going to fly away so high, I'm gonna make my own world. I'm gonna go so high, they ain't never gonna get a piece of that apple pie. Because, you know, they really wanted to dim your light and they wanted you to stay hidden forever, but you were really coming out at like the phoenix and burning into through their web of lies from yourself's ego and family members, bullies, whatever, whoever, they don't matter, because you push through. And I feel like that could be through music. Some of you may enjoy listening to whale or sonic sounds. Oh, sonic radio. You guys might listen to sonic radio a lot. And like listening to the sound of oceans. Some of you might listen to, what are they called? Sound boards or music things where they have like nature sounds, and I think they're just therapeutic sound boxes. But yeah, I feel like that this pile may benefit from that if you haven't done that yet. Listening to different frequency levels of like if you put in love frequency, hertz, or 480 or whatever, and it'll have different levels. If you put different frequency levels for different chakras, it'll bring it up for you too, and you can decide which one you want to work on the most. But I feel a lot of it here is to do with your throat chakra, speaking up for yourself, and your root chakra, so feeling safe and feeling creative, feeling stable. But yeah, you've definitely broken out of the stables. You're your own steed. You're rushing off to the races. You are gonna sew yourself your own blankets, like your own story to blanket yourself with. You are blanketing yourself with your own story. But yeah, that's what's being removed from your that's what's melting away. What is melting away is your trauma and the way you feel towards intimacy. You are letting the way you feel about intimacy melt away, and you're letting the way you feel about the choices you've made in your past melt away, so that you can finally see the green and, you know, put all the way to the last, 18th hole. 18 could be an important number for you, since that came up there, as well as 1s and 4s, because it's 1:41 p.m. at this time. So yeah, that's everything I have for you, pile number 3. That was very emotional and deep. I'm sending you love, as I know that was a lot of energy to go through. So we'll just have one more thing here. So yeah, your life will be full of true friendships. Some of you may feel like you don't have a lot of friends right now, and I feel like that's one thing that Spirit's bringing for you is the obstacles you feel in regards to building friendships, or, long, loyal, trusting friendships and relationships is coming through for you. That's all I have, so remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun, and I'll see you all in the next video. Alright, bye! Pile number 4. If you chose the red tiger's eye, then this pile is for you, path. I feel like it could be that your life path. If you look up your life path number, that could be one thing that's coming in for you. If you look up your life path number, you can Google it and it will ask you to put in your birthday and it will give you your life path number. I feel like your pile number 4s are working towards, their life path. It definitely walking your life path with confidence, as Tiger Eye usually indicates a new path with confidence, as well as traveling. So this new path could be in another location, or you could be traveling to make this life path dream come true, or in the works of it. You could travel for this career or life path of your choosing. Okay, let's see. Pile number 4, what is obstacles are melting away from them? Spirit guides, guardians, and ancestors. That one jumped out. That one. I'm getting bip bop, shwoop bop. I know it's not the words for it, but I'm getting Cyndi Lauper in my head right now. So you might enjoy Cyndi Lauper. It could be that girls just want to have fun. Also, that one is like, that song almost reminds me of skin conditions. So some of you may have skin condition that you're dealing with. That could be an obstacle that you're dealing with, that you're learning how to overcome, or some sort of food restrictions that you're learning how to manage. A lot of balance, peace in the darkness. I feel like pile number 4s, you could have just got out of a dark night of a soul or some shadow healing. If you don't know what that is, or Kundalini rising, you can look it up online. It's an interesting read for anyone who wants to learn more. Sound healing, mapping out your mind, restoring cosmic order. Some of you could be working with the cosmic galactic council, for those who believe in starseeds and what have you. So I feel like pile number 4, what's removing out of your obstacle is learning how to move on from societal norms and really embrace your own creativity and your own path. Like, most definitely on your own path. Some of you might be life path number 7s, as I already said you could look it up. But I feel like number 7 is definitely a life path number of some of our pile number 4s here, considering that's the life path of humanity, a humanitarian. And I just feel like with the card symbolisms here, with this cog in the machine, you don't want to feel like you're a cog in the machine. You weren't born like that, and your inner child feels like you're just going on a runway just to be dropped. And I feel you on that one. You don't want to just be another cog in the machine, just get chewed up and spit out. No, you want to feel like, you feel like you're in unison with yourself, to Pisces energy definitely here with the 2 fish. Eagles could be very important to you. You could be a photographer. I see a crane and swans, so definitely, and 2 dolphins. So I feel like you've met someone who's your mirror match. You could be a soulmate, and remember, we have multiple soulmates throughout our lives. With twin flames, it doesn't always have to be an intimate relationship, just so you're aware. Sometimes twin flames are like best friends, or sometimes family members who really just help each other level up emotionally and spiritually. It doesn't have to be intimate. But I do feel like there's a lot of people who are coming through who are mirroring your inner passion that you've been wanting to birth with this symbolism here. I feel like really birthing a plan. You could be working with birds a lot, seeing birds a lot. Definitely a lot of birds. I've seen crows, cranes, ravens, bluebirds. You could have nests or birds in your backyard. Spirit's really saying that bring balance in your life, get back with nature. So I feel like what's melting for you is your distance from feeling disconnected. Yeah, what's melting for our pile number 4s is the feeling of disconnected. You really feel like you're disconnected from nature, but we are all nature. We have, you know, air within our lungs, fire within our belly, tears, water within our eyes and through our bloods. And, you know, we are earth within, we are dust. So, and we are spirit with soul. So we are nature. If you're feeling disconnected, just remember and place your hand on your heart and feel the rhythm of nature within you. Some of you may be drummers or guitarists. With the heartstrings is why I got guitar. It doesn't have to be. I definitely feel like DJs, models, and making statues or jewelry. With these symbols here, some of you could work in the cult or horror movies, stuff like that. Yeah, definitely came out of feeling like a dark night of the soul, like there was no, like, when I was going through a dark night of the soul, you really don't feel like anything that you want to do or were interested in before, and you reevaluate on what your interests are, your core values are, and you really find balance in the materialistic life. You're not going to bring everything back with you. Like, you may have enjoyed gambling before, or, you know, buying scratch tickets, but you reevaluated during that time and you're like, I don't really enjoy doing that anymore. And you're like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Some of you could have been gamblers in the past and you realize that, you know, is one of the ways that they keep you inside of that lack mindset and desperate mindset of needing more and always needing more, when spirit is always providing. And if you sit for a moment, you'll know that you're abundant. And yeah, you're probably saying to me, like, you're not always abundant and you could go through so much stuff and you could lose everything. And I know how hard it is to put aside ego and be innovative and work your way through a tight situation. And yeah, no, I lost everything only in November and I had to wait. I haven't even finished rebuilding yet. But in that time, I got to leave an environment that was no longer good for me. And I got to move into my dream house. When I thought I'd never even live in a house, my next step was to live in a townhouse. Never mind have a backyard and a whole kitchen and 2 levels. I wasn't expecting that. All I really wanted was to have in-suite laundry in a townhouse. I thought it would take me forever to get back up. And it didn't. So I feel like for you, that's what is moving out of the way. That's what's melting, is your mindset and of not letting society get in your way. Like, all those times I thought I couldn't have more was all what society had let us know. But as soon as, you know, if you don't go out there and try, how will you ever know, right? manifest your best and adjust accordingly. You know, sometimes you gotta be patient with those manifestations too. You know, it ain't no Quaker's milkshake. You know, it's not Nesquik. It's necessary action, and sometimes you have to take action in order to have that spiritual manifestation come through. And sometimes that physical action is taking no action at all. It's called patience. So I'm proud of you, pile number 4, for being patient. It is not fun being patient. So kudos to you. Congratulations on not walking the path that was laid down before you. And I enjoyed reading your energy. Remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye.